There's a whisper in the wind, a forgotten language spoken by the earth, capable of rearranging the very rhythm of your being, of coaxing order from chaos in the hidden depths of your physiology. Listen closely. Now consider this. What if a humble plant, one you might easily dismiss as a mere culinary ingredient, holds the precise molecular blueprint to silence the chaotic symphony inside your gut and circulatory system, to restore a long-forgotten harmony in your hormonal landscape, bringing you back to a state of profound, natural equilibrium? What if this silent orchestrator has been waiting patiently, across millennia, to reintroduce you to the quiet power of your own body, transforming the internal dissonance into a gentle, steady hum of well-being, simply by being understood and welcomed into your life? I remember the first time I truly saw fennel, not just as a garnish wilting on a plate, nor as an exotic ingredient glimpsed in a recipe, but as a living entity, an almost sentient presence in the bustling energy of a farmer's market, radiating a subtle aura. It sat unassuming, a pale green bulb, almost pearlescent in its tightly layered segments, with feathery fronds reaching skyward like the delicate antennae of an ancient insect, yet exuding an aroma that was both strikingly sweet and subtly anisey, a complex promise of something far deeper than mere fleeting flavor. It wasn't the vibrant, aggressive color of a summer berry or the immediate, fiery bite of a chili that demands attention. It was an understated presence, a quiet observer of our modern ailments, waiting with an almost serene patience to reveal its gentle, pervasive power to those willing to look beyond the obvious. There was an elegance to its simplicity, a profound sense of self-possession that hinted at an inner world of complex chemistry and subtle, yet profoundly potent, influence over the human form. For years, I'd chased fleeting remedies for that persistent, uncomfortable fullness, the kind that steals your breath, dims your day, and casts a subtle shadow over every interaction, a constant, nagging reminder that something fundamental was amiss within my very core. The world outside buzzed with an incessant clamor for quick fixes, for immediate suppression of symptoms, for any momentary escape. Yet none offered the profound, lasting solace I sought, the true, deeply rooted internal calm. My search felt like navigating a dense fog, blindly grasping at ephemeral solutions that dissolved as quickly as they appeared. Then, a peculiar suggestion surfaced, a quiet recommendation delivered from an old herbalist with eyes that held centuries of unspoken wisdom, eyes that seemed to peer beyond the superficial, directly into the underlying rhythms of the body. Her words were simple, yet carried an undeniable weight, a resonant certainty. Seek the bulb that breathes deeply. It understands the tides within you better than you know. Intrigued, and frankly at that point a little desperate for any genuine, sustainable respite from the constant internal pressure, I began to incorporate this curious plant into my daily life, first tentatively, with a healthy dose of skepticism, then with growing conviction as its effects began to unfold. It wasn't an immediate thunderclap of change, no sudden, dramatic overhaul of my entire system, but rather a slow, deliberate unfolding, like the quiet dawn breaking over a misty landscape, gradually revealing its contours. The initial sensation was akin to a gentle hand, unseen yet undeniably present, meticulously unfurling the tightly wound knots deep within my gut, systematically releasing the trapped air and pervasive pressure that had so often pressed against my diaphragm, making every movement a minor struggle, every breath feel somewhat constricted and shallow. This wasn't a mere mask for discomfort, a temporary plaster over a deeper issue. It was a profound, internal exhalation, a releasing of accumulated tension that had become an unwelcome, debilitating constant. The world began to feel a little lighter, a little more spacious from the inside out, as if a weight I hadn't even fully acknowledged had finally been lifted. The true magic I later learned through dedicated research and continued, focused observation lay deeply woven into a particular compound called anethole, a remarkable phytochemical found in profound abundance within fennel's intricate cellular structure. Imagine this anethole as a tiny, benevolent architect, meticulously surveying the turbulent and often cramped landscape of your digestive tract, identifying precise areas of spasming, inflammation, and stagnation that impede natural flow. Anethole doesn't fight against the chaos with aggressive force or harsh chemicals. Instead, it gently persuades, it profoundly soothes. It meticulously coaxes the smooth muscles lining the intestinal walls to relax their vice-like grip, to release their involuntary contractions and spasms, allowing the natural, rhythmic flow of digestion to resume its intended course. Much like carefully clearing stubborn debris from a previously blocked, gurgling stream until it flows freely once more. The persistent pressure and distension simply began to melt away, replaced by an unfamiliar, almost buoyant lightness, a sensation of internal freedom and comfort that I hadn't realized I was so desperately missing until it subtly, yet undeniably, returned to my daily experience, transforming my relationship with my own body. Bloating, once a relentless daily antagonist, a persistent companion that made certain clothes impossible to wear and certain postures uncomfortable, slowly, imperceptibly, became a rare, fleeting guest, an almost forgotten memory, a phantom pain fading from consciousness. My clothes began to fit differently, not because of any drastic change in weight or body composition, but purely because the internal distension, the constant outward pressure against my abdominal wall, had completely vanished, leaving behind a more comfortable, a more authentic, unburdened self that could move with genuine ease. This wasn't merely about superficial physical relief. It was about reclaiming a profound sense of ease, a quiet, steady confidence that had been subtly, yet steadily, eroded by constant discomfort, self-consciousness, and the perpetual feeling of being too full. The subtle, intriguing sweetness of fennel, once just a pleasant scent or an interesting taste, transformed into a tangible taste of genuine well-being, a daily reminder of the quiet, profound restoration happening within. It was a liberation, not just of the gut, but of the spirit itself, allowing a freer, lighter existence. But the journey of discovery, the unfolding narrative of fennel's quiet power, didn't end with the digestive system. Its influence proved far more expansive and deeply integrated. The herbalist's enigmatic words echoed persistently in my mind. It balances. I pondered what balance truly meant in a holistic sense, beyond the immediate, welcome relief of a troubled gut. As an observer of my own changing internal landscape, I began to notice shifts far more subtle, yet profoundly impactful, reaching into the very core of my being, touching aspects I hadn't consciously connected to physical well-being. There's a quiet, invisible hum beneath the surface of our physical selves, a delicate, intricate dance of hormones that dictates so much more than we consciously perceive. Our moods, our energy levels, the quality of our sleep, even the profound clarity of our thoughts, and the sharpness of our mental focus. This unseen symphony, when out of tune, when its instruments are discordant, can create widespread, debilitating discord throughout the entire system, affecting every facet of our daily existence. Fennel, it turns out, possesses an astonishing, almost intuitive affinity for this unseen, delicate world of hormonal chemistry, acting as a profound modulator. Anethole, that same gentle architect, extends its remarkable touch, venturing beyond the digestive tract to interact with and subtly modulate estrogen receptors throughout the body, not with the brute force or aggressive intervention of a pharmaceutical compound, but with the profound finesse of a master conductor carefully adjusting the pitch of a single, crucial instrument in an orchestra. For many, including myself, this meant a tangible softening of the sharper, more jarring edges of hormonal fluctuations that once felt overwhelming and uncontrollable, a gentle smoothing out of the jagged, unpredictable peaks and valleys of mood swings, bringing a newfound, almost ethereal serenity to the monthly rhythm that had often felt like navigating a turbulent, unpredictable storm. The emotional tempest began to subside, leaving behind a clearer, calmer sky, a greater sense of emotional resilience and stability that seemed to emanate from within. It was like watching a subtle, yet deeply significant recalibration of an internal compass, gently guiding the entire body back towards its innate, optimal equilibrium, its natural state of harmony. The previously unexplained irritability that would flare without warning, often disrupting peaceful moments, the sudden, debilitating fatigue that would descend like a thick, oppressive fog in the middle of a vibrant day, stealing all motivation, the small, persistent anxieties that would cling tenaciously to the edges of my consciousness. They all began to recede, not through forceful suppression or artificial alteration, but through a gentle, natural reorchestration of the body's own. Profound, self-healing wisdom. The persistent, unsettling sense of being perpetually off-kilter, of never quite feeling centered or completely comfortable in my own skin, began to dissipate with increasing frequency, replaced by a quiet, steady presence, a profound sense of groundedness and inner peace that was both unfamiliar and deeply welcoming, a return to self that felt both ancient and profoundly new. Then came the revelation of its pervasive reach, its quiet influence extending even beyond the intricate internal landscape of hormones and digestion, delving into the invisible, yet life-sustaining currents that flow through us all, the very essence of our vitality. The plant's subtle yet potent power, meticulously woven into its very structure, extends its guardianship to the intricate, life-sustaining network of our cardiovascular system. Its abundant fiber, a silent, tireless workhorse, gently sweeps and supports the arterial pathways, acting like a natural internal cleanser, helping to maintain their suppleness and clarity, while its potassium, a master regulator of fluid balance and nerve signals, helps to maintain the delicate electrical pulse of life itself, ensuring the consistent, rhythmic beat of the heart. It stands as a vigilant guardian of this vital rhythm, meticulously ensuring the robust and unwavering circulation that ceaselessly nourishes every single cell, every fleeting thought, every conscious movement, upholding the very foundation of our energy and vitality, a truly systemic ally. Even the aroma itself, that distinct, almost intoxicating sweet anise fragrance that often greets you before you even see the bulb, isn't just a pleasant sensory experience. It's an active, therapeutic component, an atmospheric sedative meticulously crafted by nature's own hand. Inhaling its subtle essence is akin to stepping into a peaceful, sun-dappled grove, where the nervous system instinctively finds a moment of profound respite and calm, a deep sigh of relief. These volatile aroma oils possess remarkable antispasmodic effects that ripple far beyond the immediate confines of the gut, actively easing tension in tight, aching muscles, gently calming an overactive, racing mind that churns with incessant worries, and even quieting the involuntary tremors and nervous twitching that can so often accompany prolonged periods of stress and anxiety. It's a literal breath of calm, a therapeutic sigh, meticulously bottled and dispensed by the patient hand of nature itself, offering an immediate balm to frayed nerves and an agitated spirit, a reminder of peace in a frantic world. This unassuming bulb, it seems, has been an open secret, a cherished treasure known to discerning minds across continents and millennia, its quiet wisdom passed down through countless generations. The ancient Egyptians, long before the advent of modern diagnostic tools, revered fennel not just for its undeniable digestive prowess, but profoundly believed it enhanced eyesight, calling it the eye brightener, a testament to an intuitive understanding of its systemic benefits that reached beyond the obvious. In medieval Europe, where survival was often a daily struggle, fennel seeds were not only woven into protective wreaths and hung above doorways to ward off perceived evil spirits, but were also strategically consumed on austere fasting days to cleverly suppress appetite, miraculously making even the sparsest of meals feel considerably more substantial and satisfying, aiding endurance through lean times. Intriguingly, the chemical structure of fennel's predominant compound, anethole, is so remarkably similar to dopamine, a crucial neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation, that it elegantly explains its subtle yet profound, uplifting and balancing effects on the entire nervous system, offering a gentle, natural uplift without artificial stimulation. It's as if diverse cultures across the vast expanse of human history, through sheer intuition, diligent observation, and perhaps even accidental discovery, independently stumbled upon and celebrated myriad facets of its multifaceted, profound wisdom, recognizing its deep, enduring connection to human well-being. As I continued to delve deeper into the layers of its lore and the unfolding story of its impact on my own well-being and that of others, the quiet power of fennel began to feel less like a simple, isolated herbal remedy and more like a profound, living connection to an ancient, inherent intelligence, a silent, botanical understanding of the human body's intrinsic, complex needs. It wasn't merely patching over symptoms or offering temporary respite from discomfort. It was speaking directly to the root causes, gently coaxing entire physiological systems back into their optimal harmonious alignment. This seemingly innocent, modest plant, with its sweet aroma and delicate fronds, seemed to possess an almost conscious awareness, a profound botanical empathy for the intricate workings of the organisms it encountered, consistently offering not just aid, but genuine, restorative guidance, as if it held an ancient library of biological wisdom within its very cells, a blueprint for health. And then, an almost chilling thought emerged from the depths of my reflection, a startling, undeniable realization that profoundly shifted my entire perception, not just of fennel, but of the very interconnectedness of life on this planet, echoing the oldest spiritual traditions. What if this plant, so consistently offering comfort, so subtly adjusting our internal chemistry, so gently guiding our systems toward balance, isn't merely a passive agent in the grand scheme of nature's pharmacy, a tool to be used? What if, through its intricate molecular design and its deep-seated evolutionary history, it knows what we need, not as a conscious entity in the human sense, but as a biological imperative, an inherited wisdom encoded within its very essence, a silent, botanical directive? What if across countless human generations, it has been subtly and silently guiding human evolution towards a more resilient, a more balanced, a more harmonious physiological state, acting as a gentle, benevolent, almost imperceptible puppet master of our inner worlds, without us ever truly recognizing the conductor of this silent symphony, believing ourselves to be fully in charge? Its persistent, ubiquitous presence in folklore, ancient medicine, and diverse cuisine for thousands upon thousands of years suddenly felt less like a series of fortunate coincidences and far more like an enduring, deliberate, almost strategic influence. It plants itself in the earth, it grows, and we in turn are fundamentally changed, subtly, profoundly, perhaps even unknowingly, guided by its anansi, ancient whisper, its molecular imperative shaping our very being, a silent hand on the tiller of our biological destiny. The earth offers us subtle orchestrators and silent guardians. If we only learn to truly perceive their quiet, persistent symphony and humbly accept their ancient guidance.